G'day everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to flip this Hyundai Elantra from 2002 that I got for $1,000 from this into this. I'll be showing you the problems that the car had when I bought it and how I fixed them, so we can go from looking like this and ending up looking like that. So come along for a short video. I'll show you some of the major steps, and at the end we'll do a price breakdown of how much I made. Let's do it. By far the biggest problem with this car is the engine. And you can see here that when we start it, it's got a hunting idle. It likes to rev from about 1500 to 2000 over and over again, and the engine shakes and doesn't seem to be running very smoothly at all. Clearly there's an issue with either the engine sensors or a vacuum leak. Something is not right. Besides this, however, mechanically this car is in actually pretty good condition. The exterior is a bit rough, but the suspension, the brakes, the transmission, all the important parts are in pretty good condition. We've just got to fix this engine, so let's start with that. Now, I initially thought that the issue would be the idle air control valve here or the throttle position sensor here, so I bought new parts and decided to throw them on just to see. Changing out these sensors was a bit of an educated guess. I didn't know for sure if they were the problem, and after swapping them out, I tried to restart the car and see. And it didn't fix the problem. It does seem to be a little bit better here, but take it from me, it was still hunting for idle. And after a lot of trial and error, I finally figured out why this engine is revving at idle. So I was spraying around some carby cleaner just around the intake to see if there's a vacuum leak. And sure enough, it revs. So the problem is a vacuum leak, not the sensors. I'd already gone through and changed these sensors out just to make sure, and that wasn't the problem. So what it turned out to be wasn't a vacuum line. It's actually down here. The intake manifold, if you look right there, is gone. It's disintegrated. So I was digging around with a screwdriver and yeah, I dug away the dirt and then it started revving terribly. So that's the problem. And the way to find that is you just spray a bit of flammable aerosol around your engine, and if it revs, you know you've got a vacuum leak. So I might show you that now. So it's running, and watch this. Hear it revving? Vacuum leak. That's the problem. So knowing what the problem actually was, I ordered an intake manifold gasket from the local parts store, and then spent a few hours one day changing it out. So this involved removing the intake throttle body, the injector rails, and undoing the manifold from the back of the engine. And this was a bit fiddly, but it wasn't too hard. And eventually, I managed to get everything apart. So, I've got it loose, all the bolts are out. Let's see if we can remove it. But yeah, that's the whole thing out, and you can see the problem there. Intake manifold was completely split, so no wonder we were leaking. Let's go see if the new one fits. All right, time to put the new gasket on. Okay, sweet. Now just gonna do up all the bolts, put everything back together, not forget any important bits, and hopefully it worked. And yeah, just went and put everything back together the way it came off. I may have lost a bolt, and I may have also stripped one. You'll never know because you didn't buy the car. But it was pretty easy to put back together. So everything's on. It should now run smoothly. So let's start it up and see what happens. And there you go. As you can see, the engine's now idling way better. It's not shaking, it's not hunting for idle. The problem is fixed. Wow. All right, let's talk exterior. These headlights need to be resanded and coated. That needs to be repainted. The wheels are all rusty and look pretty gross. That was dented really badly. This antenna is snapped and the grommet is missing. These wheels are also rusty. That's dented. Oh look, another dent. And the wiper arms are all rusty as well. Let's start with the wheels. It's nice and easy. Each wheel comes off, we'll clean them, sand them, mask them, and then hit them with some glossy black paint. Here's the wheel sanded and masked up with some tape, and we're just hitting it with some cheap spray enamel. And here's applying some paint. Nothing too fancy here, just a few coats, a few light coats over the top of each other. And yeah, that's all you really need to do to refresh some wheels on the cheap. Now, of course, I'm doing this outside, on the dirt, in the wind, and yeah, the paint job's not going to be the best. But when you don't have a shed and you don't have many tools, you have to work with what you've got. And there we go. Over 2 different afternoons, I painted both sets of wheels. These were the first 2 that I did, and as you can see, they came up pretty good. And that's just a couple of hours work with a can of leftover black paint that I had lying around, so this job pretty much cost me nothing. Okay, time to do the headlights. This is a great, easy job that increases the value of a car in absolutely no time at all. All of these modern plastic headlights, they get UV faded, they oxidize. So what we're going to do is sand this back. We're going to mask it off, and then we're going to use a UV stabilized clear coat to reseal the headlight and make it look brand new. Let's get to it. So here I'm wet sanding with a spray bottle and 600 grit and then 1200 grit sandpaper. After that I mask it off, and then I hit it with a UV stabilized clear coat, which I got from the local hardware store. It's not ideal, clear coat's better, but this does the job. And here's exactly the same process, but with the left-hand side headlight. Once again, I'm doing this outside in the wind on a dusty floor, and the results were still pretty good. So here we have the before and after. So massive improvement, really easy job to do, and this makes the car look about 10 years younger and really helps sell it. The next thing we'll work on is the paint. The next thing I'm going to do is repaint these wiper arms nice and black so they look brand new, and replace the wiper arms themselves. So I removed the old wiper blades, and then I've sanded back the wiper arms and given them a quick clean. And I followed this up by masking the paint. This is probably the most piss poor attempt at masking I've ever done. It was completely ineffective and paint went all over the bonnet, but that doesn't matter, we're going to polish it anyway. So yeah, paint the wiper arms. And then I installed a brand new pair of wiper blades, and you can see the paint on my bonnet there. And there's the finished result. Not too bad for a lick of paint. Now I didn't film this process, but I did get into this massive dent by the taillight with a hammer, and the extension from my socket said it wasn't perfect, but I got it back to a similar shape as what it's meant to be. So once we paint that, it'll look a lot better. I also got into the dent in the driver's door. It's not perfect, but definitely a lot better than it used to be. Time to start painting the panels. This is the worst part by far. Looks like maybe it lost a radiator back in the day, and the heat from that boiled off this paint, and it's now rusty. So we're going to sand that and recoat it. I'm also going to repaint this pretty dodgy bit of bodywork I've done here, so it's not as obvious. Alright, so I give it a good clean and then a sanding, and I bought some color match paint from the local parts store. So I added some primer onto it. Once that dried, I did some color match paint, and then after that I did a clear coat. And more of the same back here on the taillight, sanding, masking, priming, putting the color, and then a clear coat. And I also repainted this little dent on the driver's door so it wasn't so rusty. And there we go. So that looks pretty good. Just that little patch has been repainted, and it looks pretty good from a distance. I also repainted the taillight, and although I should have used some bog to fill in the dents I caused, that's a lot better than it used to look. I also repainted a strip of rust underneath the boot lip here. Off camera, I repainted this rusty pillar, repainted that door as well, and also touched up the paint on these few dents on the fender here as well. So after all that was done, I think it looks pretty good. Now, after giving the car about a week for the paint to dry and harden, I went through and gave it a really good wash. I used some Meguiar's cutting compound to fully cut and polish the paint, and then I waxed it with a quality wax. Off camera, I did a few other jobs, such as giving the engine a decent oil change, and I also changed the spark plugs. I also changed out the bulbs in the headlights and in the tail lights. And with that, the car was ready to be sold. So how much did I make? I put the car up for sale and bam, it's sold. I sold it for exactly $3,000, which is exactly what I wanted to get from it. The initial cost was $1,000. Rego was $270. All the parts I put in were $261, some of which weren't necessary. Service was $115, and the painting and cleaning was about $110. This means a total of $1,756, or a profit of $1,244. In total, that means $50 an hour over 25 hours of work. And that's all. That's how you flip a Hyundai Elantra for about $3,000 and $1,250 worth of profit. I hope you have a great day. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up and a comment. I know it's been a while since I made one, and I'll catch you around. See ya.